Hello and welcome to a very hot and sultry day 21 of the 30 days of singing. And of course today is the longest day. We are enjoying some extremely wonderful hot sunny days, and because we're at this point in the year and because of the wonderful sunshine and the heat and because this is Wednesday, where I typically tend to post things about singing that are slightly more thoughtful or on a broader spectrum of topics mainly, not so much about technique. I thought, why not let's talk about songs, repertoire, you know? And although it's a huge subject and I wouldn't for a moment sit here for the next 5 or so minutes talking about millions and millions of songs, I want to pull attention to one song in particular which always evokes the idea of the heat of summer. It's an English song, although it derives from a French poem. The song is by Vaughan Williams and it's called "The Sky Above the Roof." Now, it's a lovely song, and the poem, if I could just read it to you. Now, this is the English translation. So I'll explain a little bit about the actual French version in a minute, but here's the English poem, the translation. The sky above the roof is calm and sweet. A tree above the roof bends in the heat. A bell from out of the blue drowsily rings, and a bird from out the blue plaintively sings. Ah, God, a life is here, simple and fair. Murmurs of strife are here lost in the air. Why dost thou weep, O heart, poured out in tears? What hast thou done, O heart, with thy spent years? Now this is, so we know it as the sky above the roof. And notice the idea about, what was it, in the first stanza it says, a tree above the roof bends in the heat. Now that to me gives a kind of double, in my head it kind of gives a double picture. You can see the tree standing in the heat and it bends, so it looks like maybe it's drooping. Or, you know how sometimes when you look out and you see kind of a shimmer of heat from the ground going up like that and it kind of slightly distorts what you're looking at. That's what I get from it. And now the translation, it's an English translation from a French poem by Verlaine, and curiously we call it the sky above the roof, but in the French version, the original, it's actually titled Prison. Prison, so prison. And actually it's a snapshot, the words are a snapshot of what it's like to be inside the prison, looking through the window at the life and the summer and the heat of the day, and everything's going on out there without you. You know, why dost thou weep, O heart, poured out in tears? What hast thou done, O heart, with thy spent years? So on the face of it, you might think, lovely song, sky above the roof, depicting a nice scene. But actually, if you go to the French version, I'm not sure it's in this book actually, which is my other book of French songs. Prison, yes it is. Prison, prison. Oh, where is it? Here we are. Okay, now I'm not going to go and read the translation of the French, but it has a very, very different feel, this song, Prison. If the accompaniment is extremely kind of well muted, it works its way up to a bit of a climax on the second page with lots of fat chords and accidentals, which are, you know, like where you get flats and sharps and naturals all over the place. So a very different kind of song, very much more sort of dark and moody. The Sky Above the Roof doesn't quite do that. It's got a lovely kind of simplicity to it, and I don't know if I haven't really played this for a while, so I might make a right mess of this, but let's just have a little look. So you've got tune, which is gorgeous. The sky above the roof is calm and sweet. A tree above the roof bends in the heat. And then you get into the second verse. So it's got a lovely kind of gentleness to it. It isn't until you turn the page and you're into the bit which says, "Ah, God, a life is here, simple and fair." And again, whilst you might think that's quite straightforward, if you imagine the French original poem, he's this guy, whoever's singing the song, the person, is singing the song from the inside of a prison cell. It's a lovely song, well worth looking into. From a teaching point of view, it's good because of the key it's in. It's in a good key because most of the notes are attainable if you're starting out in singing. It has one little, what I call a kind of a little bit of a stretchy bit where you're going up to an E above middle C. So we've got, there's middle C, okay, and it's asking you to go up to an octave and 3 notes above. So basically when you're learning how to sing, it's a song that is not too difficult to kind of feel that you could perhaps include it in your range, maybe as an idea. Anyway, that's one song that I think is well worth mentioning, and I just have to mention very quickly, talk about the wonderful Silent Noon, which is again by Vaughan Williams, and is one of my most absolute favourite songs of all time. Again, it's because of the words, it's because of the story, it's setting the scene, it's so English, talking about all round our nest, far as the eye can see, our golden kingcup fields with silver edge, where the cow parsley skirts the hawthorn hedge. So, you know, it's just gorgeous. Slightly more tricky to sing. It does come in many different keys. This time you can see there are 4 different keys. I love my music because, you know, I've got several names across the top. My maiden name, and then my married name, and then another married name. But I mean, I love my music. It has like a history to it. The reason why I think that this song is worth talking about on a lovely hot summer's day is because it's so sultry in itself. The words, your hands lie open in the long fresh grass, the finger points look through like rosy blooms, and your eyes smile peace. As a singer, it's perfection. You can just do so much with the storytelling and wanting to express your take on the poem. And of course Vaughan Williams' music is gorgeous too. Now if you aren't familiar with the song Silent Noon and you want to hear a version of it, you can always look them up on YouTube. However, I do have a recording of my own that I'm not too unhappy to hear it, and I will link to that as well if you're curious and you want to have a look and a listen to Silent Noon. You can go right ahead. It is really much more for a more experienced singer because of the kind of length of phrases and even the breadth of the range of the song. But I mean, it was a song that I sang very early on in my singing life, and I've revisited it again and again and again. So I guess there's another lovely thing to think of, that when you get to know songs and pull them into your own repertoire, you can revisit them as many times as you like. You know, you're never done learning, so why not? I'm going to wrap it up there because I can feel the heat coming my way. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back again with more tomorrow. So see you again then. Bye for now.